That's got to get you pumped up, right? Hello and welcome to our Grizzlies playoff primer. I'm News Channel 3's Mike Sadie. After a season of so many firsts that it would take too long to list, Grizz Next Gen embarks on another playoff run tomorrow with their next step, a showdown with another one of the NBA's talented young teams, the Minnesota Timberwolves. In what was a pretty even series between these two teams during the regular season, 4 games, both teams winning twice on the home floor. Grizz drawing first blood back on November 8th when Ja Morant scored 33 points to lead the Grizzlies to the 125-118 overtime win. Right before Thanksgiving, Minnesota handed the Grizzlies their worst loss of the season, a 138-95 beatdown in the Twin Cities. On January 13th, Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. combined for 41 as the Grizzlies ran their winning streak to a franchise record 11 straight, thanks to a 116-108 win over Minnesota, with the fourth and final meeting coming on February 24th, a 119-114 Timberwolves win. D'Angelo Russell, 23 of his 37 points coming in the fourth quarter. One thing to remember, though, Dillon Brooks did not play a single minute in any of those 4 games. That is what happened in the regular season, but this is the postseason. So for the very latest on the Grizzlies as they prep for Game 1 tomorrow, we head live to FedEx Forum and News Channel 3's Samaria Terry. Samaria.
Yeah, Mike, if you ask Jaren Jackson Jr., there aren't any similarities between these two teams, but I do have to agree with Karl Anthony Towns when he says that these are 2 small market franchises that can easily be the next dynasties in the NBA. They have this underdog mentality, so that's really the makeup of these organizations. On the court, these are 2 teams that know each other well. Taylor Jenkins telling us this week the Grizzlies' only opponent is themselves, but the Timberwolves are really playing some good basketball right now. It's going to come down to who executes better.
Both teams are going to play high-level basketball. Offensive, pace is going to be a big factor in the series. Our defensive activity, both teams playing aggressive physical defenses, but hopefully we've built it up over 82 games where we're deep. But as I tell our guys, our toughest opponent is going to be ourselves, and that's not to disrespect them whatsoever. It's just to go, if we're going to play to our standard, no matter who we're playing, we're going to need our best standard against a really hot team, really deep, aggressive, and talented team.
A lot of weapons. A lot of guys that can go off. You got to know their tendencies, their coverages, know what they do. And just they're not going to quit. They just don't quit. So, good team.
And Ja told us yesterday they aren't ducking any smoke from the Timberwolves. So, Mike, how does Minnesota plan to take the series?
Ironically, on defense, Samaria, the T-Wolves tuning up for Game 1 of this series by getting in one final practice in the Twin Cities before flying into Memphis tonight. And for all their firepower with D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns, and Anthony Edwards combining to average almost 76 points a game in the 4 games against the Grizzlies this season, Minnesota knows offense isn't the problem. The key to pulling the upset on the Grizz is to win the battle of the boards against a team that led the NBA in rebounding this year.
They're like on a rate right now to be historically the best offensive rebounding team of all time. So we got some work to do, and especially me. So I got to do my job at a high level, and regardless of its points or anything, it has to end up being rebounds for me, because that's what's going to really win us the game: the transition defense and rebounding.
Get in there and box out. A lot of those guys just get free ways to the rim and box out at the end of the game when it matters. Get their teams extra possessions. So us going into it knowing that, we just try to box out and get as involved as we can. We might not get the rebound, but we'll take a guy that's probably supposed to get the rebound away and out of the equation.
The equation for the Grizz is they led the NBA in rebounds, blocks, and steals, never done before. And it's only right that the Grizzlies and T-Wolves meet in the playoffs, because it was after that blowout loss in Minnesota, right around Thanksgiving, and off to a sluggish start to the season, that everything changed for the Beale Street Bears, a team meeting that turned the fortunes of a season around.
It was just talk. I talked a little bit, but I wanted the players to talk a lot. It was unbelievable how they were embracing the opportunity ahead, and we were only barely 20 games into the season, knowing that what our standard that we've laid in 2 years hadn't been reached. We're not executing that every single day. How we got to come in and work more, how we got to compete more. The little things matter, the details.
And as we all know, the Grizzlies took off from there. Ja Morant has taken a huge step this season to superstardom, with a ton of work being done behind closed doors and with the help of a former Memphis Tiger. That and more when we return on Next Step. It's tough to miss him in the Bluff City because it seems everywhere you look these days, you see the face of Grizzlies franchise star Ja Morant, and rightfully so. Ja had a season to remember, a first-time All-Star, an All-Star starter. He put in the work, with much of that work done over the summer and behind closed doors, or as Ja and his team like to call it, in the dark. Samaria back at FedEx Forum with more. Samaria.
Yeah, Mike, so the term "the dark" actually came from a book titled "When in the Dark" by Joshua Metcalf. Ja was actually given that book this offseason, and it just kind of stuck. So like you said, he spent the summer working out off of social media with his dynamic trio of trainers, one of them being former Tiger Trey Draper. Memphis native Trey Draper has been around the game of basketball his entire life. After playing for Mitchell and at the U of M, he quickly got into coaching, returning to his alma mater under former Tiger Andre Turner, helping lead Mitchell to a state championship in 2016. In the spring of 2019, Draper was an assistant at IMG, where the Ascenders took home a national title.
But I always been into the player development side. How do you become a better shooter? How do you become a better passer? It's more of a science.
In that same spring, he met Murray State guard Ja Morant.
Ja Morant was the first one that entrusted us with his pre-draft process. So Ja came down and did his pre-draft process at IMG. And from there, the rest is history.
Mo Wells, a former track star at LSU, was also at IMG that spring as a strength and conditioning coach. They immediately forged a bond that would turn into a brotherhood.
You know, we still had the all-conference and all-state, all those titles, but we weren't the guys that everybody expected to be the guy, you know, so it kind of drew us together. And we just kind of had the same similar work ethic. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it 120%, no matter who I'm working with.
A few months later, Morant was drafted by the Grizzlies with the #2 overall pick, a surreal moment for Draper.
Some things just divine, man. You know, some things are just meant to be. I just knew that when that happened, like I knew that he would change the culture of Memphis.
It's very unique because this is literally a generational talent, like from an on-court and off-the-court perspective.
In his third season with the Grizzlies, Morant was selected to his first All-Star game as a West starter, dropped a career-high 52 points against the Spurs, and led the franchise to his first ever division title. He credits the success that he's had this year to the work that he's put in during the offseason, or the dark, with Draper, Wells, and JT Thomas.
You know, when you say the dark, people think of negativity. But the dark for us is, you know, what drew us all close together. The underdog story. Working when no one else was watching. When they see, you know, Ja next year, you know, they'll understand that, we don't know what he's been up to. We don't know what he's been doing. And with the approval of T, his dad, he was like, hey, let's get in the dark.
When it's time to show the work will be shown, you know, so, and that was really evident this year. You know, he missed some games due to some bad landings or some bad cuts, but outside of that, he's been nothing short of phenomenal.
And everything Draper learned growing up playing basketball here in Memphis, he's now instilling in Morant.
For me to be from Memphis and to see, you know, little kids wearing his jersey, and just to know that I can go and have a conversation with him and just always put at the forefront of his mind, like, hey, you're impacting a city, and just so happens to be the city that I'm from.
And Draper also told me that this opportunity being with Ja Morant right here in his hometown could only simply come from prayer. Mike?
Thank you, Samaria. And if you don't think Morant's hard work has paid off, check out the cover of the latest Slam magazine, where there's a picture of Ja, Jaren, Dylan, and Desmond Bane under the cut line, molded by the dark, shining in the light. And have you ever wondered what Ja's game day routine is? Well, wonder no more, as we asked Morant how he gets ready for game day, from morning right up until tip time.
Getting shots up in the morning before shoot around, you know, going to shoot around, lock into, you know, the game plan, go home, eat, take a nap, wake up, eat, come to the gym, do my normal, you know, walkthrough, with my hoodie on, come to the locker room, sit in the locker, get dressed, go to the table, you know, get my treatment and stuff, and, you know, come out, do my pregame shooting, come back to the back, do the team meeting. Then I come out, you know, right before the captain called, and do the captain, warm up a little bit, then get ready for the jump ball, man. Attack every game the same way.
And attack he does. Next on our Grizzlies playoff special, we talk to the people who've made this all possible. No, not the players, the coaches, the front office, but some of the people that brought this team to Memphis over 20 years ago, when Next Step returns. Time to talk X Factor for this game tomorrow and this series. And for that, keep your eyes on this guy, DeAnthony Melton for the Grizzlies, who over the past few months has really become a force off the bench for the Beale Street Bears, hitting multiple three-pointers in 11 of the Grizzlies' last 13 games, ending the month of March by knocking down 4 or more triples in 6 straight games.
He can come off the bench and kind of provide that spark and be a guy that kind of changes the course of a game. When he gets hot, and mix that with the things he does on the defensive end, he's definitely going to be a key to our run for sure.
I don't want him to change anything. Don't change your routine. Keep coming in. He's literally been working so hard, and you can see the results in the games, and it's making a huge impact on our success. So when he's playing like that, that can mean really great things for the Grizzlies.
From Grizz Next Gen to the Core 4 before it, the Grizzlies have really become a huge part of the Bluff City over the years. Pretty awesome when you consider it almost didn't happen as a small group of business leaders took on the tall task of bringing professional sports to Memphis and succeeded big time. Let's call it what it is, the pursuit of happiness. Right, Samaria?
Yeah, Mike, I actually really like that. But last month marked 21 years since Vancouver Grizzlies owner Michael Heisley put in the application to relocate his team here to Memphis. But I wouldn't be standing here outside of FedEx Forum, home of the Memphis Grizzlies, if it wasn't for 7 fearless Memphians, the Pursuit team.
Memphis had been chasing a professional sports franchise for the past 3 decades and had failed quite publicly.
In August of 2000, business leader Gil Rose had a meeting with Memphis businessman Staley Cates.
There at that meeting, he said, we would really like you to lead the effort to explore what it would take for Memphis to get an NBA franchise.
Rose was later introduced to then NBA Commissioner David Stern. They set up a meeting in New York.
He really recommended that we pull together a team of civic leaders that would then become what we've called the Pursuit Team.
Joining Rose in the Pursuit Team was AutoZone founder Pitt Hyde, his wife Barbara, Stately and Andy Cates, Charles Ewing, and Southern Heritage Classic founder Fred Jones.
I don't think we really as a group understood what we was going up against, trying to convince people that, that this is a possibility, the first Major League franchise for Memphis.
By far the biggest obstacle for the Pursuit Team was crafting a plan to fund a $250 million arena and the backlash that ensued.
The idea is that you're taking money out of the coffers of public funding to fund rich basketball men.
Despite the opposition, the Pursuit Team pulled it off in March of 2001. Michael Heisley, the then owner of the Vancouver Grizzlies, fell in love with the city and put in the application to relocate his franchise to Memphis.
He came to Memphis unannounced one weekend. He went around and met people, and he had a sense of what Memphis was like. He made it happen.
The pressure of the failure, we all felt that, of 30 years of trying to put ourselves out there. I'll never forget the day that the owners approved the franchise. It was so happy. It's so exciting for Memphis. I'm so grateful that I got to be a part of that.
After 21 years, the Grizzlies are on the brink of a historic season that has taken this franchise to new heights, the ultimate dream of the Pursuit Team.
It says the Memphis Grizzlies. And when you look at the jerseys, it says Memphis. Man, that's for a native Memphian like me, boy, that says a lot. In spite of the fact of people not really believing, one thing I can say to them, look at us now.
And Mike, I think it's safe to say that everyone on that Pursuit Team, the ones that never gave up on that dream of having an NBA franchise here in Memphis, are just so proud of how far this Grizzlies team has come.
And hopefully has yet to go. Thanks to Maria. When we come back, we'll put a wrap on Grizz Next Step by talking to the man who's more in the know about our Grizzlies than most. Grind City Media's Michael Wallace. His take when we return. Welcome back to our Grizzlies playoff special, Grizz Next Step, where I'm proud to welcome Michael Wallace from Grind City Media. If you want to be in the know about the Grizz, this is the guy to talk to. So, Michael, thanks for stopping by. First off, how did this happen? We knew this team was going to be good, but they were supposed to be a few years off. Yeah. None of us could have expected this. Why?
I mean, you surround the right guys around Ja Morant. The front office did the right job in terms of drafting guys, developing guys. So when you look at Zach Kleiman, Taylor Jenkins, Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and the group that they put around these young guys, that tells you they were on the fast track from day one, and they got here a lot faster than we thought.
Well, we'll put you on the spot now. Yeah. When you look at this matchup, what are the pros and what are the problems facing the Grizz when they take on this T-Wolf team?
Well, I mean, obviously everyone talks about Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards, but to me, D'Angelo Russell is the guy that's been the biggest headache. So we'll see if the Grizzlies can figure out a way to keep him contained and not getting into the lane. The Grizzlies also have to slow the Timberwolves down. These are two of the top 5 scoring teams in the league, so somebody has to step up and play defense. The Grizzlies are also top 5 in defense as well, so I like their chances on that side of the ball.
He's the biggest star in this series by far. And how much, if any, should we be concerned about the health of Ja Morant? One game in the last month of the season, and he's nursing a sore knee or did nurse a sore knee. But Ja only knows one way to play, and that's full throttle. Should we be worried?
We shouldn't be worried. If it's you or I, yeah, we definitely should be worried. Ja Morant, did you see him in the last game he played?
I did.
You know, the second last game of the season, he was running. He did everything he needed to do, distributing the basketball. This guy is in shape. Every time the Grizzlies have a player coming back from an injury, they always come back a little bit better. That's why they take their time with the medical team, and I think Ja's going to be fine. He's 100%.
Of course, the matchup everyone is talking about and watching will be between Ja and T-Wolf bad boy Patrick Beverley, one of the league's best defenders, but maybe the NBA's biggest instigator.
Yeah.
Should we be worried about Pat Bev and Ja Morant?
It just depends. Ja Morant has to go into this game not feeling like he has to prove something to Patrick Beverley. Ja Morant has zero to prove to Patrick Beverley. He has to be composed. He has to be poised. And if he can stay poised, then I think this won't be a problem. Play your game, distribute the basketball, get your teammates involved, and then you just push away the Timberwolves and move on to the next round.
And we got Dylan Brooks.
And we got Dylan Brooks to offset that. He's back for the first time in this series. Dylan will make his debut. And Jaren is completely healthy going into the playoffs this time as opposed to last year.
Well, you know, as we close in on tip-off, I was thinking about who we should ask for any last-minute advice as these young Grizzlies head into the playoffs. And let's be honest, there's only one guy to ask, and that's the guy who led this team to its only Western Conference Finals appearance back in 2013. Core 4 member Zach Randolph.
It's a different pace of basketball. Take your time, stick together. It's going to be rough times. You got to stick together. It's going to be loud, but you got to believe in each other. And that's what we did. We tugged on each other. Time got hard. You know, I pulled on Mike. Mike pulled on me, Mark, TA. You know, the guys, we just came together. And these guys right here, you could tell that they family, and they love each other, and they play for each other.
Z-Bo also Players Tribune story that just came out talking about this Grizzly team and the Core 4 team. Just great to see, Z-Bo. I'm going to put you on the spot. Who does DB cover on that T-Wolf team? Is it D'Angelo Russell? Is it Anthony Edwards?
I think it's going to be Anthony Edwards starting off because you have Desmond Bane, the other DB, who can take on D'Angelo Russell. And we'll see Pat Beverley, obviously, and Ja Morant match up at the point guard position. It'll be straight up there, and we'll go from there.
Your take? Series?
My take series, Grizzlies in 6. I think it'll be hard for 6, though. I mean, both of these teams are evenly matched, but I like the Grizzlies in 6.
Samaria has them in 5. I got them in 7. I'm saying that all teams will win home games in this series. Tip time, 2:30, so don't be late. For Samaria Terry, for Michael Wallace, I'm Mike Sadie. Good night, and go Grizz.